So one of the questions that I got was, why do you think that there's not a Gen X candidate in terms of like presidential stuff? Like, why do you think that nobody in Gen X is really, after going, the presidency? I think it has there's a number of factors aside from, the like of which is that, well, I mean, I think that most of the younger generation don't want to play ball with the older generation and their system, because their system is basically built on just, fear and lies, and that's their system. And I think that a lot of Gen Xers, and along with a lot of other younger people, won't want to play ball with that. So I made kind of a list of things that I would think that maybe a serious candidate might bring up. These aren't in any particular order, but I'll just read them here briefly. Here's what a Gen X presidential candidate might sound like. And for obvious reasons, you can see why they probably wouldn't make it to the, they probably wouldn't make it to the inauguration. Even if they did win, they probably wouldn't make it. First of all, they cut off all the foreign aid to every country out there because we're broke. Well, what part of we're broke don't we understand in this country? So yeah, all foreign aid to every country, including everybody's favorite country that we love to send money to all the time. Both of those countries can get cut off. No more corporate-owned land, because that's terrible. Corporate-owned land just makes the prices of everything else go up. So get rid of corporate-owned lands. Individual people can own land in America. How about closing the border for real? Like for real closing it, not just some hollow campaign slogan, but like actually closing it. What about getting rid of all the welfare for illegals? Because it's a cost. Like American people, you've got American people sleeping on streets, but we're putting up, illegals in hotels, right? That's pissing people off pretty badly. And I don't think you have to have really any politics. I don't think you have to have any like right or left politics to say that, dude, that's really fucked up. Whether you agree with welfare or not is irrelevant, but like, dude, you certainly shouldn't be putting up a bunch of fucking illegals into hotels while you have homelessness in America. That's just fucking stupid. Okay. Another thing that they might do is say, like, hey, the Federal Reserve has caused a lot of inflation. Maybe we should get rid of that whole organization, that whole goddamn clown show. Want to do something like that? Gen X candidate might also say something like, hey, encourage people to own private property. I'm big on this myself. If you have a lot of people that own their property, right, then they tend to take the country a bit more seriously. They tend to take everything, in fact, a bit more seriously. So what about small business ownership? A Gen X candidate might say something to the effect of, how about we let bankers fail? How about we let all these giant corporations fail and stop bailing them the fuck out? Right? Now, the reason I bring this up is because what do you think that would sound like to the elite? What do you think that would sound like to the power elite? How do you think they would take that? How do you think all the boomers would, you really think that all the boomers want to lose all their trillions of dollars of stock market fake bullshit gains? You think they want to lose all that money? Fuck no, dude. You think that the CEOs want to be basically broke? You think that everybody in government that wants to be fired? You think all those people that have been propping all this bullshit system up forever, want to lose all their money? No, dude. They don't want to lose their money. They don't want to lose their power, right? They've worked for a long time to gain all this goddamn power. So no, those people don't want to lose any of that. They want to keep all that forever. So that's why I don't think you're going to see. I think that you could see a Gen X candidate probably, but I mean, who knows? I think that even with today's internet, it wouldn't even be possible. You'd be deplatformed immediately. You think that big tech wants to hear somebody say, hey, we need to get rid of all those H-1Bs because all the H-1B people are absorbing huge amounts of jobs that Americans need to be doing. We have American unemployment. That's, so when you hear from certain candidates with really good hair, they say things like, we need to put America first, and then they haul off and do nothing about all the importation of cheap slave labor, right? I don't care whether they're here legally or not. Like, dude, I mean, you've got a bunch of people here in the U.S. that can do those jobs. So, like, well, but they won't. And this is the idiot right argument is like, well, but they're too expensive. No, it means your business model doesn't work. You get no shrift from me on this one. I'm a businessman. It means if you can't afford to pay somebody, it means your business model doesn't fucking work. That's what it means. So it means that you probably close. Right? Your giant company. This is the problem that boomers have. They believe in big government, big companies, big everything, big banking, big stock market. And that shit's coming to an end. It has to come to an end because it's too big. Nobody out here could continue to support all that. You don't have enough people to support all this. Even if you imported a whole bunch of fucking illegals, you're still not going to have enough people to prop all this shit up, right? I mean, are you following along with this? Most younger people are starting to see this now. They're starting to see it for what it is. This is, you just want to replace American workers with cheap slaves. And if they get out of line, you're going to deport them, because you can use it. You can't do that with Americans. So there you go. It's just a displacement kind of issue. So